Welcome back, you guys, to another construction update. Here we are at the parking structure right now, just taking a look. We haven't been here in about 3 weeks, almost 4 I think, and a lot has been done. You can see right over here I'm showing you the escalators to the new parking structure. It looks like they got 2 of them installed. They got the tallest one and the shortest one, and they're still missing the one right there in the middle. I'm sure that'll be coming soon. It's been a little bit rainy over here lately. And then you can see right over here, this is what I was talking about before, was there's 6 levels to this parking structure, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels. And then they only have 3 big escalators coming down. So that means they're merging 2 floors. And you can see the mini escalators right there that merge like the top floor and the next floor down. And so that big escalator right there carries down 2 floors. And so does that one, and so does the one down there. And you can see the roundabout we here is for controlling the flow of traffic. Because sometimes, you know, when you're getting on and off the escalators on the old parking structure that we're standing on right now, sometimes it's a little headache, like there's like crowds merging and stuff. So this way you have people going off one way, people going on another way around the circle there. There's also supposed to be a bridge that is coming out from that parking structure over to downtown Disney, which we will go, when we walk in, we will take a look to see if we can see that bridge at all. I'm gonna scoot over here. You can see right here the bottom floor. Now look closely, you guys. There is something weird there. There's a bunch of like piping and stuff sticking out of the bottom floor there. Can someone tell me what that stuff is? I was wondering, I'm thinking like it was for electrical wiring and stuff, because that's where the security checkpoint is going to be, is underneath there. And that's also where you're going to be loading the trams, is underneath there. Now I had somebody on Instagram send me some videos of inside the parking structure. I can't show that to you because I don't want that person to get into trouble, but they were actually inside the bottom floor walking around, and you can see where there's going to be walls built, and you can see pretty much where the trams are going to be picking you up underneath on the bottom floor there. Just some insider information there. We pretty much have confirmation that the trams will be picking you up underneath on the bottom floor of that parking structure. And right now you can see they have all 5 floors up except for the 6th one there. They just got that one last floor to do, and we're gonna walk over there a little bit closer so you can see what I'm talking about. So just from moving over a little bit onto the stairway, you can see where that tram is picking people up. That is gonna be a big esplanade right there, from that escalator to that escalator. There's gonna be a bunch of trees and stuff that's gonna be planted in there that create rows that will bring you into security underneath there. But I wanted to show you here on the top floor because I can get a really close look here. You can see the current parking structure right here and how we are now connected. And there's cement barriers here. So the first one right here, that's just so you don't fall off. The second one right there, that creates a pedestrian walkway right there that goes all the way down to the other side in case you want to walk into downtown Disney. So basically you walk from this parking structure all the way across and then catch the bridge over, I believe it's a Magic Way, to cross into downtown Disney. And then there's a third barrier there, so the cars will be traveling between those 2 right there. So you'll have a pedestrian and a car passageway to go from each parking structure. And I'm sure they're doing that so they can create the flow of traffic on how you're going to load, how they're going to load the parking structures with the cars. So it really looks like they've finished all the ramp work here. They've even painted the sides of the ramps here. They still have that building there that doesn't have windows in it, but it's a pretty large building. If you look from right here and you come all the way across to over there, that's a very large storage building. I'm sure there's probably an associate break room in there, and that's where they store the cones and different things. Still intrigued by this way that goes, this space between the parking structures. Like you have this space right here that goes between the parking structures, and there's a possibility that a tram could fit underneath right there on this side of the building. Like, because you know you're going to be loading over there underneath. So will the tram come out over here, or does the tram come out? It is my personal belief is that the tram is going to come out on this side right over here. So you're going to load underneath, it's going to swoop around, come out there, make a hard right, and then cut underneath the parking structure, the current parking structure, and go back to Disneyland. That's what I think. Now people might say, well, that's too tight of a turn, but not for these trams, it's not. Or does it come out over here, make a turn, and go down and around and under? That's a good question. That's what I think is going to happen. Let me know in the comments down below what you think is going to happen. I don't think there's a way for it to go around the back and still make it around the front and go all the way around, because there's still associate parking on the other side, or employee parking on the other side of this parking structure that we're standing on. But look, you guys, I mean, you can see the entrances to where the cars are going in, and you can see, I mean, it's just like the parking structure we're on here right now. It's really cool. All right, guys, so we are gonna jump on over there and walk on over and check out the bridge, or lack of bridge. We'll see how far they've gotten on that right now. Just wanted to show you guys from the street. They got this thing all nice and painted over here. It's looking really nice. I'm surprised they don't have like more like security rails or anything. Like, I'd be afraid people are gonna fall off, but I guess the cement barriers are big enough. And then they still have this covered walkway which we're walking through, which means they're gonna be doing construction above us, and they don't want anything to fall, but I definitely don't see any bridge yet. You can see here's an elevator on this side too, so I think there's gonna be an elevator on each side. Maybe they're putting this one on this side so that way you can get to the bridge. So it's just me thinking out loud. What do you guys think? Is there a possibility they have an elevator on each side of that walkway right there? One so you can go down and go into the tram loading area, and then one that you can go down and go onto the bridge to cross this street to get into downtown Disney and walk into Disneyland. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there's a wall there, so you can see what I was talking about. There's gonna be a wall separating like the loading zone area and the construction area in there. There it is. It's coming into focus a little bit. So you can see behind that wall will be probably where you're loading, and then over here you can have like probably handicap parking and stuff. So this is the street and the road. You can see all these cars here going, this is that they're trying to avoid people walking across, which we just had to walk across by putting the bridge from right over there and coming across and landing into that parking lot over there. So the bridge is definitely happening. It's just a matter of what part of this parking structure is the bridge coming off of. And like I showed you before, there is a big opening right here, so I'm wondering if they will have cars exiting here, because now you won't have any human traffic over here. So maybe they'll start exiting cars from the parking structure on this side as well as the other side to alleviate some of that congestion that happens when you exit the parking lot right there. And then even going towards the back of the parking structure, it looks like they're building more walls on the bottom floor right there. And I'll kind of show you, give you an idea where that at is. If I zoom across over here, you can see this is the street area. So it's really weird. There's a lot of like walls going up on the bottom area of the parking structure, and you don't see that on the current parking structure that's already built. So it's going to be interesting to take a walk around that parking structure. I never thought I would say it's going to be interesting to take a walk around that parking structure, but I really think it is. We are back here checking out the backside of Star Wars Land, aka the real name Galaxy's Edge. I'm just going to keep calling it Star Wars Land because that's what I do. Not a lot going on here. You can see they've just kind of covered up a little bit more right there. But if I move down over here, still the same thing. I think really what we've been looking at up here is just the texturing of the rocks, and they're really getting that color formation in. It looks like most of the rock work is almost done. They still got some scaffolding up on some of the spires. And, you know, they're still doing that final painting and texturing. Can't really do much right now because of all the rain going on, but I'm sure in the last few weeks they've been doing something there. But you can see, oh, something that I just noticed is they've completely closed up the side of the building here. Look at that, you guys. So no more opening. That means all the big stuff is in there. I actually hear that they are starting testing and probably syncing up special effects with ride vehicles and the trackless system. So they are very far along. We are going to try to jump on the Mark Twain when we go inside the parks to see if we can get any new shots of what's on the other side, because there are some interesting things. You can see like the coloration of the rocks right there and stuff are different. But let's jump into the side of the parks and see what we can see. So we have jumped onto the Mark Twain on the Rivers of America, and we are just checking out these massive rock and petrified tree formations over here in Star Wars Land, Galaxy's Edge. And it's just super awesome to see everything that's going on over there and how big it is. I mean, you can see how big the buildings are in the background. And really, most of the buildings are below the tree line. So the ones that we're seeing are just massive. It is just crazy, the scale of this. And look at that little rock in the back. Or is that a petrified tree? I've never seen that one before. It really gives it that scale, that forced perspective. Look at, there's the tail end of a ship. I mean, they're having full-size ships in Star Wars Land. It's just crazy to me. I can't wait to really walk through it. Like, it's just gonna, it's nuts. It's bonkers. It just blows my mind every time I look at this. There's another building that we've been seeing for a while it's just huge. And then the rocks, they're doing such a good job on all of that stuff. Here's one gripe I have, though, right here. You can see through that archway there. I'm sure they're going to cover it up or something. Not the arch, but behind it. They're going to have to, because there's no way they're going to let you see any grid work or anything like that. Then here we go again. Another, you know me, I've loved this arch the whole time I've been doing these videos, but you can see right here, you can see through it still. But I just like the formations, and it really looks like a rocky mountain that's going to cover this enormous show building. And I'm just showing you really just the size of this and all the details that are going into it. I remember when this first started, you really were like, wow, how are they going to really detail that? And they really have. They've done such a great job. But you can see how massive it is. Here's another peek at just another building through the tree line there. And I never noticed that path at the bottom there on the left that goes over the little berm there. And again, back to the just the massive show building and how they cover it. And how when you're in the park or in that land, you're not even going to notice that there's a show building there. It's crazy. And there's that right there. I wonder if they're just waiting to cover that because they're still doing some work where they have to get inside and out of there. Or is it just something that they've missed? I don't think that they would have missed it for sure, but you never know. You never know. Someone's got to bring it to their attention, I'm sure. It's just, I think all I can say right now is just crazy to me how massive it is and how we're from far away right now, but when you're actually standing in Galaxy's Edge, how when you look up and you're going to see these towering petrified trees and rocks and buildings, and then you have droids roaming around. It just blows my mind every single time. Well, that's it for Star Wars Land, you guys, for the construction. Let's move on to a different area of the park here. Wow. So before we get into the parks, we're here at Downtown Disney, and they still got the AMC Theater closed off. They painted some nice murals here. And then also, they've completely redid the doors to the front of the Rainforest Cafe. They've painted some fun designs there. And then we have ESPN Zone, which has some murals and stuff on the walls and some blacked out windows. But nothing's really changed over here except for the Earl Sandwich opened up, Starbucks opened up, and everything else still closed. So also in Downtown Disney here, you look at Black Tap is not opened up yet, but Ballast Point is open for business, you guys. And look at, they have, it looks like a counter right there that you actually can drink your drinks and have a good time and watch people watch. You got the brewery equipment right up here up top. There's some seats behind there. We're going to take a look at the other side and see if they have a balcony on the other side like I thought. There it is, you guys. Ballast Point is open for business. We're going to have to try it one day. Not today, but look at above Wetzel's Pretzels. They did. They converted it to a outdoor patio dining area where you can sit outside and enjoy a nice beer and enjoy some food. We'll take a in-depth look at the menu at another video at another time. But we're making progress here in Downtown Disney. Things are opening up. So the little shop out here by the trams has been closed up for quite a while. I liked it when they had little snacks and foods and stuff right there, but it's closed up. I'm wondering what they're going to do. If they're going to convert it back to an information booth, or if they're going to sell souvenirs or snacks or what. Let me know in the comments down below if you can think of something. So right over here in front of City Hall, you guys, they got some walls up. They got a little watch your step walkway right there. This is usually where you cross for the parades and stuff. I wonder what they're doing, if they're just refurbing some of the brickwork underneath there. We'll have to go around to the other side to see if they're doing any planter work. Yeah, so on the other side of this, you can see the tree is inside of this wall here. So I'm wondering if they're shrinking down like they've been doing on some of the planters and stuff, or are they just redoing it? I'm curious. So it says the Emporium is open, but it is completely walled off on the outside. I wonder if they're going to be doing some of the animated windows, if they're redoing those, or the curb work. I mean, it's the year of refurbishment. It's the time of refurbishment. It's this time of year where they usually do different construction projects and things going on here at Disney. And always look down when you're walking down Main Street, because look at, you better watch your step. You step on this, you might just trip if you don't be careful. Another big refurbishment here at the castle at Disneyland. So when they had the 60th celebration here at Disneyland, and they put all that sparkly roof stuff on, they damaged the original roof, or the roof that they had on the castle. So now they're going to be having to do a lot of roof work and repairs, probably replace the entire roof of the castle. And so while they're doing that, they're also going to do some upgrades to the walkthrough of the castle and probably some new paint on the exterior and so on. But you can really see they have it boarded off from way out here, so you can't even get close.
What I really like is look at the royal gate.
Yeah.
That like is perfect. It's a perfect like fence for the castle. It looks like a royal gate, and you're gonna open the doors. So I like how they themed that gate to go with the castle.
Well, I can't wait for them to open the doors, because I'd hate to have to come here and then you don't even get your castle picked because there's a big fence around it. But we understand that they have to do these things.
I hope nobody's getting engaged.
Oh yeah, well, they can get engaged in front of the royal gate and not the castle. Yeah. So the back of the castle is completely blocked off, but also if you want to go left and get around the castle, you can't go by Snow White's wishing well. It is closed off. It looks like they still have the walkthrough open though on Sleeping Beauty's walkthrough of the castle, which is pretty awesome. But the only way around the castle is to the right side right now, you guys. And as usual, after the holidays, the Haunted Mansion is closed down as they take down all of the overlay from Jack Skellington's Nightmare Before Christmas and convert it back to the original Haunted Mansion, which I always end up missing. I love the overlay, but then I always want the original back, and can't wait to come when it's open. So in Tomorrowland, it looks like the Astro Orbiters are closed down for refurbishment. Looks like they're redoing some of the queue line and redoing the ride because it is completely closed off. Let's head on out to the outside of Tomorrowland and see what it looks like going in. So as you can see from the outside, Astro Orbiter is completely shut down here. The fence goes all the way around it. I wonder if they're just like repainting, redoing some of the mechanics of it. What is going on in there? So that is it for our construction update here at Disneyland. We'll be back for more in the future. This is the time of refurbishments and construction. It's the off-season, well, if there is such a thing as off-season. But we thank you for watching this construction update. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with all your friends, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.